What if I told you that one of Africa's historically impoverished nations is now undergoing an economic transformation that could set an example for the entire continent? Burkina Faso, once primarily known for its arid lands and political instability, is now making bold strides in its socioeconomic development. This is a country that has faced monumental challenges, from being landlocked and heavily dependent on agriculture to dealing with persistent political unrest and security concerns. Yet, despite these hurdles, Burkina Faso, under the leadership of President Ibrahim Traore, is showing the world what's possible when a nation embraces self-reliance, innovation, and collective action. It's not just about economic growth. It's about redefining what it means to thrive in the African context. Can Burkina Faso's success story serve as a blueprint for other African nations? How is this country managing to turn its fortunes around when so many others are still grappling with poverty and underdevelopment? By the end of this video, you'll see how Burkina Faso's transformation holds powerful lessons for the rest of Africa. So, stick around and let's explore the data, the strategies, and the vision behind this remarkable economic journey. Before diving into the economic changes, let's briefly touch on Burkina Faso's background. Geographically, Burkina Faso is a landlocked country in West Africa, sharing borders with 6 nations: Mali, Niger, Benin, Togo, Ghana, and Ivory Coast. With a population of about 22 million, it has historically relied heavily on agriculture, particularly subsistence farming, to sustain its people. In the past, Burkina Faso's economy struggled under the weight of political instability, high levels of poverty, and limited access to global markets. The nation's GDP per capita hovered around $800, among the lowest in the world. Furthermore, frequent droughts made it difficult for farmers to grow enough food, leading to widespread food insecurity. However, recent political changes, particularly the rise of President Ibrahim Traore, have sparked a new wave of optimism. Traore, seen by many as a bold leader in the anti-neocolonial struggle, has taken measures to steer the country toward self-reliance and rapid development. His policies aim to break Burkina Faso free from the shackles of foreign dependency and chart a new course for the nation's economic growth. Burkina Faso is no longer just a nation in recovery. It's a nation on the rise. But what exactly are the drivers of this newfound progress? Let's break it down. Before we continue, a quick reminder to like this video if you're enjoying the content so far. And don't forget to subscribe to African Finance Watch for more insights into Africa's economic trends and investment opportunities. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest updates. Now let's continue. A. Agriculture and food security. Agriculture has long been the backbone of Burkina Faso's economy, but in the past, it was inefficient and vulnerable to climate change. However, in recent years, the government has invested in modernizing this sector, which employs around 80% of the population. One of the key changes has been the introduction of irrigation projects aimed at improving water access for farmers. Drought-resistant seeds and better farming techniques have also been promoted. Agricultural productivity has increased by over 20% in just the last 5 years, significantly boosting food security. Small-scale farmers are receiving government support in the form of microloans and subsidies for farming equipment. But agriculture is not just about feeding the population. It's also a critical part of the economy's export strategy. Burkina Faso is the largest producer of cotton in Africa, and recent reforms have been made to improve the quality and sustainability of cotton farming, positioning it better in global markets. The diversification of crops has also been promoted, with millet, sorghum, and maize seeing notable increases in production. B. Mining and natural resources. Burkina Faso is rich in natural resources, particularly gold. The mining sector has become a pillar of the economy, contributing nearly 20% to the country's GDP. But for decades, this wealth was largely exploited by foreign companies, with minimal benefits trickling down to the Burkinabe people. Under new reforms, the government has renegotiated mining contracts to ensure a greater share of profits remains within the country. For example, in 2023 alone, Burkina Faso increased its mining revenue by 15%, with an emphasis on local processing initiatives to add value to the raw materials before export. By diversifying its exports to include other minerals such as zinc and manganese, Burkina Faso is reducing its dependency on gold, making its economy more resilient to fluctuations in global commodity prices. C. Infrastructure development. No country can achieve sustainable economic growth without robust infrastructure, and Burkina Faso is no exception. In the past decade, major road and transportation projects have been launched to connect remote rural areas with urban centers, enabling easier movement of goods and people. This has not only reduced travel times, but also enhanced regional trade. The energy sector has also seen considerable improvements. Burkina Faso has historically faced energy shortages, which hindered industrial development. However, investments in solar energy, taking advantage of the country's high sunshine hours, are transforming the energy landscape. The construction of solar farms, such as the Zagtuli solar power plant, has increased electricity access to more than 55% of the population, up from just 18% a decade ago. Telecommunications advancements are another critical piece of the puzzle. The government has made it a priority to expand internet access, particularly in rural areas. Burkina Faso's internet penetration is now over 30%, a significant improvement from the 10% recorded just 5 years ago. This has not only improved communication, but has also created new opportunities for e-commerce and digital entrepreneurship. D. Education and human capital. Human capital development is at the heart of Burkina Faso's economic transformation. The government recognizes that without an educated and skilled workforce, sustainable growth will remain elusive. That's why Burkina Faso has been investing heavily in education and vocational training. Enrollment in primary and secondary education has increased dramatically in recent years, with over 70% of school-aged children now attending school. The vocational training programs introduced by the government are designed to equip young people with the skills needed for jobs in sectors like agriculture, mining, and technology. This is particularly important in a country where the median age is just 18. One notable initiative is the Youth Employment Initiative, which has already trained over 200,000 young people in fields ranging from agriculture to ICT. The government has also been working to create more job opportunities by incentivizing local industries to hire domestically trained workers. E. Healthcare and social services. The healthcare sector has seen vast improvements, with a focus on expanding access to quality care. In the past, healthcare facilities were few and far between, particularly in rural areas. Today, thanks to government efforts, there are more than 100 new healthcare centers across the country, providing care to underserved populations. Improving access to clean water and sanitation has also been a priority. Burkina Faso has made significant strides, with clean water access increasing from 55% to 75% in rural areas over the past decade. Social protection programs have been expanded to include more vulnerable populations, providing a safety net for those still struggling with poverty. Burkina Faso's economic transformation is underpinned by several bold policy shifts that prioritize self-reliance over foreign aid dependency. President Traore has emphasized the importance of fostering local industries and creating an environment where entrepreneurship can flourish. In fact, government data shows that the number of small businesses has grown by 25% over the last 3 years, driven by policies that provide financial and technical support to entrepreneurs. The country's push for regional cooperation and trade initiatives is also noteworthy. As a member of the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, Burkina Faso has been working closely with Mali and Niger to promote regional trade and infrastructure development. In 2023, The three countries established a joint investment bank and stabilization fund, which is aimed at fostering economic development and reducing dependency on foreign financial institutions. Governance reforms have been another critical area. Anti-corruption measures introduced by the Traore administration have improved transparency in government contracts and public spending. According to Transparency International, Burkina Faso's corruption index score improved from 40 in 2021 to 55 in 2024, signaling a significant reduction in public sector corruption. Despite the progress, Burkina Faso still faces significant challenges. Security concerns remain one of the most pressing issues. The country is still grappling with insurgent groups, particularly in its northern regions, which has forced the government to divert resources away from development projects toward military spending. This raises the question: can economic growth be sustained in a context of ongoing insecurity? Environmental sustainability is another area of concern. While efforts have been made to increase agricultural productivity, these efforts may not be environmentally sustainable in the long term. Intensive farming, deforestation, and overuse of water resources could lead to environmental degradation if not carefully managed. Income inequality remains a persistent issue, particularly between urban and rural populations. While cities like Ouagadougou are experiencing rapid growth, many rural areas are still lagging behind in terms of development and infrastructure. This urban-rural divide poses a threat to national cohesion and could exacerbate social tensions. Finally, Burkina Faso's relationship with the international community has been complicated by its anti-neocolonial stance. The country has faced sanctions from Western nations, and the Traore administration has been vocal about reducing reliance on foreign aid. While this is a laudable goal, it has created friction with international institutions and could limit Burkina Faso's access to much-needed capital and technology. So, what can other African nations learn from Burkina Faso's economic transformation? First, Burkina Faso demonstrates the importance of tailored, context-specific solutions. There is no one-size-fits-all model for economic growth. Each nation must understand its unique strengths and challenges and develop policies that address them directly. Second, Burkina Faso's experience highlights the importance of balancing foreign investment with national interests. While foreign capital can accelerate growth, it is crucial to ensure that local communities benefit from such investments and that profits are not siphoned off to foreign countries. Third, Burkina Faso has shown the value of prioritizing human capital development. Investments in education, healthcare, and vocational training are not just social initiatives. They are critical drivers of economic growth. Finally, Burkina Faso has effectively leveraged its natural resources for broader economic growth by diversifying its mining sector and investing in local processing industries. Other African nations can adopt similar strategies to maximize the benefits of their resource wealth. 7. Future outlook. 50 words. Burkina Faso's economic future looks promising. With continued investments in infrastructure, human capital, and regional cooperation, the country is poised for sustained growth. However, maintaining security and environmental sustainability will be key to ensuring that this transformation benefits all Burkinabe. As always, African Finance Watch digs up possible investment opportunities relating to the video topic. In today's deep dive on Burkina Faso's economic transformation, we'll explore some of the best opportunities for small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, to consider. Burkina Faso's recent progress in infrastructure, agriculture, and other sectors makes it an attractive destination for SMEs looking to tap into emerging markets in Africa. Disclaimer: please note that the following suggestions are based on available data and trends in Burkina Faso's economy. However, it's crucial to conduct your own thorough research and consult with local experts or financial advisors before making any investment decisions. 1. Agribusiness and agro-processing. Agriculture remains the backbone of Burkina Faso's economy, with more than 80% of the population involved in farming. There's a growing demand for SMEs that can bring innovation in areas like seed production, irrigation systems, and agro-processing. Processing locally grown products like cotton, maize, millet, and vegetables for both domestic consumption and export could be a highly profitable venture. 2. Renewable energy. Burkina Faso has made significant strides in solar energy, thanks to its sunny climate. The government's commitment to expanding renewable energy access opens up opportunities for SMEs to invest in solar power installation, maintenance services, and even local manufacturing of solar panels. SMEs can also explore partnerships with local energy cooperatives to serve rural areas that remain underserved by the national grid. 3. Infrastructure development. As Burkina Faso continues to upgrade its infrastructure, especially roads, telecommunications, and energy, there are ample opportunities for SMEs to get involved in construction, logistics, and supply chain management. Companies providing construction materials, equipment rental, and related services could benefit from increased demand as both public and private sector projects ramp up. 4. ICT and digital services. With increasing internet penetration, Burkina Faso's ICT sector is ripe for growth. SMEs focusing on digital services like mobile payment solutions, software development, and e-commerce platforms can tap into this growing market. The government's initiatives to expand telecommunications infrastructure further enhance opportunities for tech startups looking to serve both urban and rural communities. 5. Tourism and hospitality. While security challenges exist, there's a push to develop Burkina Faso's tourism potential. Historical sites, festivals, and wildlife reserves provide opportunities for SMEs in ecotourism, hospitality, and cultural tourism ventures. With careful planning, SMEs can contribute to developing a sustainable tourism sector while promoting local culture and heritage. Each of these sectors holds potential, and with Burkina Faso's commitment to development, SMEs have a unique opportunity to contribute to and benefit from the country's economic transformation. Burkina Faso's economic transformation is not just a local success story. It's a potential model for the rest of Africa. As the country continues to chart its path forward, it offers valuable lessons for any nation looking to achieve sustainable, inclusive growth. What lessons do you think your country could learn? Let's continue this conversation in the comments. Thanks for sticking with us to the end. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to African Finance Watch for more in-depth content on Africa's economy and investment opportunities. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when our next video drops.